All right, looks like we've got a bit of a donation today. A very hefty donation of $600,000. So, for those who don't know, the Completionist has been very much investigated, or at least his charity, has been investigated by two YouTubers by the name of Carl Jobst and some ordinary gamers, also known as Mutahar. And so, there was some stuff that wasn't making a lot of sense within the filings of the Open Hand Foundation, as laid out in my last video. But to sum it up for you guys, literally, in their banking statements, or their official statements that they had to send to the IRS, there was discrepancies in it. And essentially, it's a non-profit organization, but it had been making donations since, I believe, 2012. So money had been accumulating into this account, and none of it was given out, well, until not recently. And on top of all that, Gerard, also known as the Completionist, had known about this, and in an interview, it was highlighted that he had known about it since 2021. Now, me personally, I find it's a little scummy holding on to the money, just letting it sit in an account when you said you want to be honoring somebody, but whatever, I digress. And of course, if you guys also follow up on those videos as well, there was some other stuff where they had a whole golfing tournament where they were also receiving sponsors and all of that. And so that money, I believe we don't know where it is, as far as I know. At least it's very suspicious on how much came in and all that, and what's being reported and what's not being reported. And on top of that, Indie Land, which is where a lot of indie developing gamers get to show off their products and stuff, and of course all the money from that event goes to charity. But however, Mr. Gerard here, he's didn't really help with that either. So, of course, some ordinary gamers broke it down very in depth. But yeah, Indieland received a nice sum of money, and of course, this golfing tournament is very suspicious. That's what I can lay out. As I always said, I hope the IRS looks into this, because the IRS is really the most important part. Because, well, they're the ones who can pull out everything and look through all the stuff and launch official investigations across the board. Now, while that's hopefully gets you guys up to speed on what's been going on with this whole Open Hand Foundation, it turns out that the other day, the Open Hand Foundation had actually given about $600,000 to the AFTD, which means the Association for Frontal Temporal Degeneration, which is a form of dementia. And now here, I'm actually going to read from Street Insider the most important parts, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so we are grateful to the Open Hand Foundation for its commitment for advancing research into FTD, a disease that is devastating for too many families, said Susan Dickinson, AFTD's CEO. Our organization is ideally positioned to ensure that this generous gift directly benefits families affected by FTD and brings closer a future with treatments, a cure, even prevention for this disease for generations to come. This contribution is a tribute to the memory of my wife, Karen Reed Khalil, who battled frontotemporal degeneration for over 14 years, said Charles Clear, founder of the Open Hand Foundation. We are honored to preserve her legacy by supporting continued research on this devastating disease. The Open Hand Foundation is committed to making a meaningful impact, and we believe this donation will contribute significantly to the fight against FTD. Now, if this sounds like the most PR that it's ever sounded, you would be right on that one. Like I said earlier, to me, if you really want to honor somebody, would holding money into an account to really be honoring them? Yeah, this whole family needs to be looked at. And of course, we actually are given the full breakdown of where the money went to, at least all the 600,000. So we have 100,000 for drug discovery research. We have 200,000 for pilot grants. We have 250 for Comstock grants for individuals and families. And of course, we have 50,000 for staff management of these programs. So breakdown is pretty much straightforward. Not much I can really add to that. So let's talk about it. Let's start with the good, okay? The good in this is the fact that this money got donated like people were asking for, which really should have been done from the start. But whatever. Yeah, I'm really happy for this because any person who can receive this money is definitely going to need it, because what people don't understand is that while like dementia is already hard enough to deal with, when you have if you ever have to take care of someone who's sick, it's actually very taxing on the entire family or on the one person who's doing it. That's why we have caretakers. And so when you have to deal with somebody who is sick and can't do stuff for themselves, it will actually literally drain the life out of you. It's really difficult for some people. And sometimes it's actually harder on the person who is helping than the person who is sick. So any form of help from me, like in my opinion, anyone will take it. So I'm really appreciative to that, because that's something people don't really understand. Like the reason why you have retirement homes is because, well, the family literally cannot take care of them. And of course, when you have to take care of somebody, you have to make some massive sacrifices, like some big ones. Sometimes you might have to quit your job to take care of somebody, or you might have to like take less hours, and that means bills start piling up, all that fun stuff. You get what I mean. But yeah, so these grants should really come in handy, which is great. Yep, and of course the researchers get to do their research, which is good. And the drug discovery, which is arguably like one of the most expensive stuff, because experimenting, getting materials, that's sometimes costs you the most. That's why, people look for grants and stuff. Pretty good. All right. Now, on to why I believe this investigation is not even close to over, or at least why this little act is not even going to repair half the damage that's already been done, not even 3/4. So, regardless of what I've said, while it's good that it got donated, we can't forget that this money was sitting in an account for, I think, up to like 10 years even. I believe the records go back to 2012. So this money has been sitting here for a long time, and let's not get into the fact that they had other extremes of revenue that were coming in and out. And let's add to the fact that Gerard also had known about this. Like, the money was just sitting there. And when you're on streams gallivanting and saying, oh, this is going to charity, this is for charity, this is for my mom. Yes, you got all the people on board, and now your money's sitting in an account. And I don't think you guys understand, this guy was one of the most respected YouTubers around, at least in the gaming scene. So imagine somebody who's so well respected is all the way at the bottom now and is seen as a scammer. And this is not like a crypto scam where you can see from a mile away that crypto is not a good investment for this, or a shitcoin is not going to work. Well, that scamming is also very much wrong. Charity scams are just a gut punch a bit deeper. Like, it's literally like a stab. So yeah, so Gerard is still not in the clear, not even close. His reputation is going to probably never be repaired after this, because, well, that's just how it is. Once the public eye is gone, then yeah. But either way, I still really need the IRS to investigate this whole stuff, because there's definitely some underreported stuff, especially between the golf tournaments that have been hosted by the Open Hand Foundation, and the fact that, of course, all of Indialand's proceedings go to the Open Hand Foundation, but something's not really clicking right. But regardless, even right now, the at best, Gerard still has, well, Gerard's the face of it, but this whole foundation has negligence is the best option you could get, and the worst one is, of course, fraud. But unfortunately, we can only dig through so many public records. We can only, dig through all the information that is publicly available. But only the IRS has the resources to go in and send a proper audit and see, oh, you guys underreported this, or this has been underreported here. So, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Charity fraud, I definitely is one of the ones that, if it's officially convicted, it won't be looking good for anybody of this family. But of course, we will always take what we can get. We'll take some wins, take some losses, and it's a huge win that the money is donated, but it definitely is not over yet. But anyways, that's about it for this update video. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. We are grinding. We are pushing the envelope. But regardless of all that, thanks for watching. Leave a dislike if you want to. Yeah, it's your own hands. You're also probably Gerard if you dislike. Just kidding. Ciao for now.